Hi, I'm Amanda Novak, and this is my presentation on how the media affects adolescents. The question of how much the media affects adolescents has been a question for many studies. With technology such as iPods, iPhones, televisions, computers, and tablets, it is not a surprise that concerns would be higher. Does the media compel adolescents to have sex early, have poor body image, and take drugs and drink? The major media part of our lives can affect both us positively and negatively into our adulthood. No adolescent will react to the media exactly the same way, either if they are boys or girls, and the availability of different media to them affects them either more or less in different ways. Dr. Klein in 1993 researched the effects of media such as magazines, radio, and television on teenagers. It was found that the more boisterous the music, the more likely boys were to act in a riskier way. It was also found that adolescent black males were less likely to be violent than adolescent white males. It was also found that it was less likely for white males to have intercourse than adolescent black males. Both black and white adolescent girls were found to have sexual intercourse less than both the white and the black males. Depending upon the television content that the adolescents have decided to pursue, watching has influenced the adolescents when it comes to sexual intercourse. The higher the sexual content, the more likely it is for the adolescent to have had sex. The subject of oral sex was not found to be content for the adolescents. It was more so about vaginal sex. Adolescents are particularly vulnerable in this stage of life because of the mercurial nature of self during their stage of life. This was said by Dr. Paik in 2011. This study focused on adolescents' perception of smoking. It was found that throughout time, the effects of the smoking campaigns had an effect on the adolescents, but not when the adolescents first ever saw what was presented to them. The final conclusions were that the media does not have a direct influence on those watching it, but over time it affects how others may believe someone to think or feel. In a study done about multitasking, it was expanding upon what Dr. R.L. Collins found in a research previous, was that those who were light multitaskers absorbed more of what they were watching on television than what the heavy ones absorbed less. There was a study done by Thomas Mobile for German boys. It was found that the more time the adolescent boys played video games, the more likely they were to do poorly in school. Since girls are less inclined to play video games, the involvement with the form of media was more aggressive in the boys. A program was installed at the school to see if positive media would work better with the students. This positive media was supposed to be able to aid the students in using the media to do well in school. It was found that by giving a positive media message, it made the students accept the information they were receiving about the media far better than when they were given a negative message. The media and body image has played a significant role in the lives of adolescents for a long time. In a study done by Wesley College, the girls that showed high parasocial interactions were less likely to have a positive body image. They were gravitating more towards the celebrity because a parasocial interaction is when one side knows more about the other side than the other knows. The reason for the gravitation towards celebrities at this point in time is they see these celebrities as a role model. They want to be like them, model themselves after these celebrities. In another study done about music, it was found that girls are more likely to use music media as a way of interacting with the media. It was also found by the Washington State University College that boys and girls, adolescents, were more likely to gravitate towards romantic type music. They viewed the romantic music as how relationships should be. They have assessed that adolescents gravitate towards this, believing that this is how one should act in a romantic relationship. The researchers fear for the impact the music media has had on adolescent families, and suggest that a program be given so that adolescents and their families can analyze the music media, leading to more positive self-worth. A boy named Teal was going through a rough time in coping with the death of his grandfather. In order to help him out, his mother set him up with an internship with a media program called Community Television Network, an after-school organization that helps students with forms of media. Teal would interview himself and others about his grandfather. Eventually, his self-worth picked up, and he found that he had a love for media. This program allows for a safe development and learns to be productive for these interns. The message that the group uses for adolescents is to put together relationships stronger and to encourage others to rise above violence that is around them. The media has affected us all both positively and negatively. Dr. Jane Browne and Dr. Piotr Bobkowski of the University of North Carolina did a study about positive and negative effects of well-being for adolescents. The research explained the positives and negatives that adolescents have. They have the positive in the fact that they can show sides that they would not normally be able to show. They are able to interact with people they would not normally be able to interact with, as well as be able to receive information they might not otherwise have found. Though there are so many positives, there are negatives as well. The study presented unfortunate conclusions of aggressive behavior, disorders with eating, distorted ideas of relationships, earlier sexual behavior, underage drinking, and tobacco use. Unless an adolescent is a person of high risk on being affected by the internet, it was found that addiction, cyberbullying, and sexual predators were not as problematic as it was first originally thought. Now that we're in an age of growing technology, Browne says that our studies need to expand on adolescents' media exposure. Over the years, we have been exposed to many forms of media. The conclusions one can draw from different research studies are that the media have both a positive and negative effect on all of us. Sometimes we do not notice from the beginning that something is truly affecting us. This is how the media works on us. The theory is called the cumulative effects theory, created by Elizabeth Noel Newman. The more time and evidence exposed to people, the more the media will affect us. We have seen with adolescents exposed to more media, the more it will affect them. The media has caused violence within adolescents as well as a type of clarity with adolescents.
Well done.